Thank you.
I like
so happy to be here.
I like your corduroy number.
Thanks. It's the season, right?
I love corduroy. I know, because it's so cold, right? So, wait, I think the last time that we saw each other was our drive interview that we did.
Yes, which I had a great time with you. Thank you for inviting me.
I loved it, but I loved your car most. But since they came back on Netflix with another 70s show, did you have to give the car back? Or did you keep it?
You know, the answer is yes. I rented it back to them. So I have the Vista Cruiser from that 70s show.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I took from the show after, you know.
It's so cool.
And yeah, so I took the Vista Cruiser, which I'm hoping that when my daughter's old enough for me to take her to school, that I can embarrass her in that car, you know.
Yes. Or be really cool.
Oh, it'd be really great.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Exactly.
You know?
The flux capacitor, I wanted one of those cars so badly. So wait, you were also Mirabel's father in Encanto, which literally still plays in my household.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So since the last time you were here, you did that, and I didn't get to talk to you about it. So how was that? That was such a cool movie.
I mean, you know, working with Disney is a dream.
Yeah.
You get to do these things that, first and foremost, to be a part of a movie that meant so much to so many people at a time where they really needed that joy was just different. It was a very different type of movie too, and it was a very different type of movie for Walt Disney. But it was the joy of my life to be a part of that and to be the 60th film for the Walt Disney Animation Studios. It was pretty iconic too. So the whole thing was crazy. I mean, even going to the premiere, you know, and seeing it all, you know, the colorful, the red carpet, and the whole thing. And Kelly, the thing that I think about when I think about that premiere was being able to bring my mother to that premiere for many reasons. Because, you know, she's Colombian.
Yeah.
And the movie takes place in a small little village in Colombia. And for my mother in her lifetime, for her to be able to see, you know, her Colombia portrayed on screen as anything but what it's been, you know, for decades and decades. It's been, it was really, really beautiful. And then
something she didn't get to see probably as a child, you know?
For sure.
Like, she didn't see that when she was a kid.
No, well, Colombia was a very different country when
But even
when you
like
saw it in
on
film.
screen, like I don't feel like, this is the first time it's cool for my kids too to be introduced to a culture that they don't know much about. Like, they are obsessed. We have that freaking candle lit in our house all the time. Like, we have, literally, they sent me all this stuff from Encanto, and I swear to God, it looks like I'm obsessed with Colombian culture.
That's so good.
And yeah, I'm just like, but they love it. And it's a cool way to introduce it to people that aren't aware, and it's also a cool way, like representation. Like, did you have anything like that when you were a kid to look up to? Anybody that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's very few people that speak to you, and specifically for the Latinos, you know, and back in film and television, most of the characters that were portrayed were unfortunately not necessarily who you wanted to grow up being. You know?
Yeah, they were like typecast.
Yeah, they were very typecast. They were very stereotypical characters, you know. And but when I look back, I look at this one man, you know, Desi Arnaz, right, who played
oh my God, I was
Ricky Ricardo.
obsessed with I Love Lucy.
Yeah, and I was obsessed too. And you know, I used to watch it in Spanish, which was
I did not.
Really, really funny. I used to watch it in Spanish back in Venezuela, and I'll tell you something that's really, really unique. When I looked at him and I saw him on this show, he was speaking Spanish to me as a child, you know, and not until when I came to the United States, I realized, oh, they're speaking English, you know. But the point is that I felt like I could be him.
Yeah.
And that I felt like that was someone that sounded like me, that looked like me, and originally, you know, he was speaking in Spanish. So I was like, oh, anybody can be that now, you know. And then you come to the United States and you watch him do his thing with an accent. And so he was someone that inspired me, not only as an artist, but also as an entrepreneur and as a producer. And he's someone that done so much for television. I don't know if you guys knew, but he created the multi-cam format for sitcoms.
You can watch the documentary and find that out, and the movie. There's like two different things. The documentary is just as cool as well.
It's
about
crazy
the whole,
cool,
yeah. I got my mother and I just deep dove one Christmas and just watched the whole thing. We were like, oh my God. Like, because I love this show growing up. Like, most kids would want to watch something you're not supposed to watch. I would go past my bedtime because it'd come on at 10:30 p.m. to watch I Love Lucy. Like, that's who I am.
But what a magic combination when you think about Lucy and Desi together. well, Ricky and Lucy, right?
Chemistry,
and this chemistry, which was beyond culture back then. It was beyond what you look like. It was just an energy.
It was so different.
Yeah.
I loved it. So you guys have shot like 450 episodes of NCIS. Like, what's it like to be part of such a magical crew and magical show?
First of all, this is big shout out and big hello to the crew and every actor that shared the screen on that show. I've only been on the show 7 years. The show's been on. Well, I feel like I'm always going to be the new guy because
it's been on for a long time. Yeah.
This is they're going into their 21st season.
Yeah.
Right?
I love
so
it.
they're doing 21 years, right? It's like a long time. But it's been a great joy in my career to experience that, to be able to be in people's homes with a show that's so beloved, and a show that knows itself so well and understands that it's not about the case of the week, it's about your favorite people solving it. And I think that's the secret sauce. And the fact that we're still averaging 11 million a week is unbelievable.
That's incredible. Yeah. So you also do something called My Hour a Day. What's that?
Yeah.
I want this.
Yeah.
What is this? It feels like a good kind of selfish.
Yes, I deserve it. So, and I know you can relate to this, Kelly. There was a time in my life where I just said, what else can I do and how much more can I do? And I was traveling and shooting multiple shows at the same time. I remember at the time I was shooting Minority Report and From Dusk Till Dawn and Grey's Anatomy all in the same week. And I couldn't even get on the freeway. I had to helicopter from set to set just to make these jobs possible. And then I had a production company and I'm producing all these things and whatever. And I was just going from Monday through Monday, and I realized I started getting, whenever I had 3 days off, that's when my body's like, you're out for 3 days, And
it shuts down for you.
It shuts down for you.
It's
just
like, nope.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And I realized that there was a common denominator in there, that I wasn't getting enough rest, that I wasn't allowing my brain to reboot, to restart. And I started thinking about my day. I'm like, well, I'm running out of hours in the day. But that wasn't the excuse. The excuse was that I wasn't dedicating some time of the day to myself. So I thought, if I don't have 1 hour in 24 hours to dedicate to myself, it could be reading a book, it could be going for a walk, it could be just sitting, it could be a nap, or it could be working out. Once I implemented that, I realized how much your body really appreciates it, and even more critically, how much your mind deserves it. So I created this hashtag called My Hour a Day. And, I tag it on to all my workouts and all that. And I've seen fans from around the world jumping in and doing their hashtag My Hour Day. And it's created this smaller community of people that had finally said, okay, what's the hurry? Mm-hmm. And can I sit with myself for an hour and really think about, what I really want, and then distribute the rest of your day based on the things that are the most important to you. But the clarity only happens in that hour. So in that hour, start doing an inventory of my day and thinking like, oh, do I really have to do this? Is that a job that I really should take? And if you don't have time to make those decisions, you will find yourself working all the way through.
Like, the people upstairs that know what my weekend was are dying laughing right now.
You're going through it? Yeah.
I literally, this weekend, I was like, I took time off and was like, oh, I have too much going on. And then I got right back in. Yeah. And it's just not good. It is, it's like, because I think too, for creative people, and you said you have a production company, I did too, you love to be involved, you love to create, right? But it's like you just stretch yourself so thin. Mm-hmm. And we don't get it. There's less, I was saying this earlier, literally in the glam room. I was like, there's less days ahead of a lot for us than behind, you know? Right. So it's like, and we just don't know. So it's like, how are we choosing to use that time? Yeah. And having kids, it's like you want to. And
then you have to enjoy that.
And you want to.
You got to enjoy being a parent. You got to enjoy being at home. Because
and you don't enjoy going, I know I'm not supposed to be working on the weekend, honey, but they're calling me. It's like, So it's a hard thing to do.
It's a hard thing to do. And I'll tell you this, and for anybody at home who's actually relating to this conversation, it's not about like quitting things, or it's not about avoiding things. It's about having an hour where you can, you are loving the process of being and doing something for yourself, and then allowing that to create clarity in which then follows priority, right? Because then the priority would be something joyful. Because if you're prioritizing something, then it basically tells you that's the thing you want to do.
Yeah.
You know.
But you don't. If you don't take the time to even sift through that,
You can't. You wouldn't be able to do
and
it.
then it gets stretched too thin, and you don't enjoy it.
That's right.
Says my past weekend. You're a dad now, and your daughter just turned 2.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
That's my Chucky. It's my Chucky.
I love the 70s party.
Oh yeah.
So like,
first year was Encanto. Yeah.
Oh my God, what a first!
Yeah.
What a great first birthday.
Her first year was Encanto, and we made her own magical door too. It's pretty cool.
Oh my
I wish I'd given you
gosh.
that picture. Anyways, I snoozed up.
I like what I'm creating in my head anyway. I like it's so magical. You had a whole art team like in my head. That's amazing though, the 70s thing. Did you I don't know, bring out Fez? Did you?
Well, what you saw me wearing there was one of Fez's classic outfits. It was.
You still fit in it? Screw you.
Girl, it's called my 1 hour a day.
I can promise you my 1 hour a day will not be working out. My 1 hour a day will look like this. I just want to say, I love that. The Encanto birthday, that's so cool. Wait, watch what's happening.
It's a long story, but if you guys go to my Instagram, I think you'll get more context.
I am just very happy for you that you fit in it. That's incredible. Go you. Go you. Thank you guys. Y'all have a great night. I'm going home.